Well, Robbo, how pleased are you with that performance? Particularly the defence was impressive.
Yeah, I thought, wet conditions lent itself to that, but they're quite a crafty team and they move the ball well and ask some good questions. And I felt like we dealt with the ruck defence really well and the shift defence. I felt like the balance between the two. We had to improve some things on the run, but that was what we needed.
I think with 15 minutes to go, there was only one missed tackle.
Right.
That when you compare that effort across the year, is that probably one of the most spirited efforts you've seen in terms of the defence from your side? Yeah,
it was probably one of the most principled defensive efforts, but on the back of that, I feel like on our contacts, we got them back over the advantage line or the contact point quite well. So it was principled, but it was also physical. So there was some intent in that. So, and that gives you patience. That gives you time to. It was always going to be tough with the ball for both teams in those conditions, but your defence had to be on to give you that time to work around that.
Sam Walker, instrumental. What did you make of his game? I mean, to think he's only 4 games back as well. Yeah,
I think that's what I said, that the defence gave him time, and then on those conditions, as soon as you get over halfway, he's going to see where the fullback is. He's going to use his kicking game. He'll pass or use his kicking game, whichever one. And his vision on that's very, very good. And he'll pull you apart on those. Thought some really good skills from Nat Butcher and Billy Smith as well. You've got to be able to finish them off in those conditions. So I thought that was that was really key. But it was on the back of defence. I think this guy had. I think we let the first try in. We're a bit passive, and then Teddy almost got it. He sort of came in between Rob and Mark, and then we just couldn't quite get him. And then I think he got Garrick, and then Cooler again on that, and then we got better and better and better. So we had to prove it to ourselves that we could do it, and it was pretty impressive.
After the first game back that Sam played, I think your words were that he's got a lot to go in terms of coming back from a year out. But are you starting to? Well, I think those were your words at the time. But do you think we're starting to see the best of Sam Walker these last couple of weeks?
No, he's got a long way to go. He's got, in his development, Sammy's just getting started. Again, I thought was it not on Simpkins on the back row. I think his goal line D there. We haven't seen that from Sammy. Forced error, and I think you saw all the boys rush in on him, and he had some really good movements. They ended up shifting the ball the other way, and then he will pull you apart. But the matching up of both sides of the ball, Sammy's just getting started on that. He's really clear in his mind, and then games like that will advance him really quickly.
When you say clear in his mind, as in generally, what do you mean by clear in his mind?
Like he knows how he wants to play the game. He's clear about what he wants to get out of himself, and he's in a rush, like every young guy is, to play their best footy, and he's just come back from a knee injury, but he's in a rush, and that's great. And he's pushing himself to get the best out of himself, and we're trying to support that and guide him along that. But that was a good step forward.
How did you
play a lot of footy? Have you had too many nights like that in those sorts of conditions?
Yeah, not for a while. It was coming down sideways, and the wind was pretty crazy there. But you got to play the conditions. Really, it was pretty scrappy. It wasn't very. I don't know how good of a watch that would have been for the people at home, but defensively for us, that was a big focus for us this week. Our goal line hasn't been good enough the past month or so. So me and them can attack. Got some great attacking players, even though the conditions are pretty tough. But for us to hold our cool a lot of those times there was very pleasing.
Robert, that keeps you in the fight, doesn't it? There's a real logjam there for that last spot or two in the 8, and you can't overstate the importance of that victory.
Yeah, we knew that. People always talk about the external, the ladder, and all of that, but it doesn't matter if you're not playing your footy. So there's that first one is you got to acknowledge how do we play our best footy, but there is also the acknowledgement that we can't slip up there if we want to have a crack. in September. So, and we knew that, and so we had to try and play our footy. So we made sure we win tonight. Next week's a really important game as well against Dolphins, who are just above us. And so, yeah, we knew these next couple of games were going to be a really important for us to continue, and yeah, that'll be the challenge. You know, we put ourselves in this position, and we've got to make sure we're playing our footy, as I said, and improving each game, but then also getting the wins we want to have a crack at back end of the year.
James, what's the feeling like, given all that, in the dressing room after a win like that?
Yeah, it's huge for us. I think our past 3-4 weeks of footy hasn't been our best at all, and we sort of addressed that this week and knew we had to get back to our footy, and the first thing is our defence. You know, the top defensive sides are the ones that are winning the comp at the end of the year, so to get back to our defensive best, we had to put in a good performance, and we did that tonight. We'll take a lot of confidence out of that and keep building into next week. It's another good test for us against the Dolphins, so yeah, we'll take some lessons and go up to Suncorp and give it a crack.
Trent, Nat Butcher in New South Wales Cup.
Yeah.
Do you have any news on that?
Yeah, he's redid the medial again. I think it was a cannonball, and you know, he's done it again. I think that'll be close to season over for him, which was really disappointing. He was great this week, getting him back in and going, and you know, he was such a key player in what we do there. He sort of plugs a lot of holes for us, and yeah, it's disappointing. So.
Trent in a tackle like that, if that's what it was.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know some coaches are pretty vocal on those types of tackles, and you know, we made some good advancements around not tackling in certain areas, you know, the real dangerous tackles, and then we went to sort of above the knee and all of that. But people are basing out and standing a lot more. It's just, it's going to come up, but we've got to do better than diving in at those knees as third man, you know. So
it's the same knee that he hit?
Yeah, it's the same knee. So I think that's the third time this year, so we just need some time to get that done.
Yeah.
Thanks.